Thank you for joining our field education team as we talk about frequently asked questions regarding field education. We're going to spend some time talking about what advice we have regarding first-year field instruction and supporting student learning and growth. What do you all think?
Well, one of the things that I really like to focus on during student orientation and field instructor orientation is the fact that this is a developmental process for both students and field instructors. Particularly as a new field instructor, you're new too, just like the student is new. But it's true for each of us every time we have a new experience. So just because we've successfully completed one internship perhaps, or even two, every time we start, there are new pieces. We do have a document on the Web Center called Developmental Stages of Field, which is a really helpful guide that breaks down. It's a stage-based model based on weeks in the program. It's not linear because students will go into one phase and then back and then into another, but it really helps us focus on remembering that when a student begins, there's excitement, there's excited anticipation, and there's also anxiety and worry, and how important it is for field instructors to take the time needed at the front end of an internship to slow the process down, to get to know their intern, to get to know them uniquely. How do they think? How do they learn best? What do they need from you? What do you need from them? All of those pieces around developing the relationship and not sort of being allured into just jumping in and doing the work at the agency, but to really help ground the intern in relationship, in understanding what the agency does, what the role of the social worker is at the agency, and what happens as they're going through the process of the internship when bumps in the road occur, and when they get to a place where they're feeling scared or uncomfortable or not prepared, and how do you help them feel comfortable talking with you about that and being vulnerable. So I think when you're a first-year field instructor, remembering how important it is to model being vulnerable and to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers and our students should not have all the answers. And how do you honor mistakes and use those as learning opportunities for both yourself and for your student?
There's also a logistical piece to being a field instructor, particularly for the new field instructors. We welcome you to reference a document called Overview of Field. It's on the front page of the Field Instructor Web Center. And there you'll find answers to many of your questions regarding expectations and requirements. And if you continue to have questions, you should contact me or your faculty liaison.
And also, if you have a child welfare education program or social responsive leaders student, you will be contacting me regarding your field questions or paperwork.
I really appreciate that statement of we're continuing to grow, and so using us as a team to help support your growth as well. Something we do with many students that join any of our MSW programs is have info sessions about their hopes and goals for field. Really, we say hopes and fears. And I think that applying that to ourselves and recognizing there's times that we might not know how to have specific questions with our students, either about course content, either about conflicts that are arising clinically. And so utilizing us as a support and also being patient with yourselves around there's a different process when you have the intern, even if you have a lot of supervisees. And recognizing that whether you've been doing this for 10 years or this is your first year, there's always going to be unique situations in supervising interns.
I think it's also helpful to know as a first-year field instructor that all of the generalist MSW students will be in a field seminar, and that is on a weekly basis all school year long. They will be with the same instructor and the same group of students, so they will also have support to process their field experience on a regular basis. And the facilitator of that seminar is the faculty liaison, who is also assigned to you and the student to do the twice-a-year site visits. So it's a good opportunity for both you and the student to have support around field.
It's important that you know that the faculty liaison is there to support you. If you have issues that come up, we strongly encourage you to address those early on rather than letting them sit for months, and sometimes it gets to the point that it's really much more difficult to address. So if you need assistance, the team here at PSU is here to support you. Reach out to us, that's why we're here.
Thank you, everyone.